Hi guys, this is teacher Ricky of Trimex Colleges and we are in our series on how to appreciate art. This channel is for anyone and everyone who wants to understand and learn about all forms of art. We will give you tools and break it down for you to appreciate art. Now, in today's vlog, we will be talking about one of my favorite movements in art, Impressionism. And in today's vlog, we will be talking about the start of modern art, which is called Impressionism. We will talk about how it started, when it started, and why it started. We'll also be talking about one person in particular who they call the father of Impressionism, Claude Monet. Now, Claude Monet was born in 1840 in Paris, France, and their family was quite affluent. They were rich. His father started a business, grocery business, and eventually started owning a small bank. What the father wanted with Claude Monet was to inherit the business, but he didn't want to. At a very young age, Claude Monet already showed talent in drawing, and uh, what he did was he would draw caricatures of people in his village. People in his village liked it so much that they paid for it. So, at a young age, Claude Monet already exhibited great talent when it comes to drawing. Now, when they transferred to another part of Paris, he met a painter who taught him how to paint landscapes. So, okay. When Claude Monet was growing up, his father enrolled him in a military school, but he didn't like it there. So, what he did was he asked his aunt to enroll him in an art school. So he started to learn how to paint in the classical way. But as he grew up and started becoming an artist, he was struggling. No one wanted to buy his work, and in that time, uh, the Louvre had a salon. Now, the salon is an exhibit uh, that was well renowned in the West during that time. Now, only a few people can exhibit their work, and if you exhibited your work there, you were already considered, um, quote unquote, an artist. So, Claude was rejected, and some of them also grouped together, those people who were rejected grouped together, and they called themselves the Anonymous Society of Painters, Sculptors, and Printmakers. So they banded together and put up their own exhibit. Now, in that time, the salon in the Louvre only appreciated romantic style of art. So it was realistic. Uh, it depicted works of the Bible, it's religious, and also it depicted great literary works. So it was very selective. Only those type of paintings were exhibited in the salon. So this group of people, this group of artists, the friends of, banded together, and they started this movement, which is totally uh, opposite of what the Louvre, the salon in the Louvre was doing, which is instead of doing realistic, they were doing figurative art. Instead of doing religious and literary works, their theme, they were doing everyday themes or everyday situations of people in France. So totally opposite. So radical. You could say that the group of Monet uh, was a departure from the classical form of art into something revolutionary. So that's the start of the modern art. which is Impressionism. Now, to classify Impressionistic art, which is totally opposite of Romantic art, which is realistic. So, paintings were choppy, unfinished. Um, you would say it's unfinished compared to what was going on in that time. It only gave a idea or an impression of a particular object or scene. So when you look at an impressionistic art, you have to look at it from a far distance. So Claude Monet became more famous when he started painting haystacks in their season. So he would particularly paint a landscape of haystacks in France, in the countryside, in summer, in fall, in winter, and then in spring. And this launched his career because people at that time saw it as different. And then as he became popular, he rented a villa outside France where there was a garden. Now he started painting more of those scenes, outside scene landscapes. So he became a good gardener. At the end of his life, he would be more proud of his garden rather than his artworks. Now, let's go and view the villa that he bought and how he transformed this villa into a garden, his garden. And
this is the Seine Valley here, and the light is very soft and very luminous. And Monet was very aware of that. I mean, all of the Impressionists worked in the area called the Ile-de-France around Paris or on the Normandy coast, because this part of France does have this very beautiful translucent light. But I think the quality of the light here in Giverny was one of the main reasons that Monet acquired this property and made his garden here. For the last 20 years of his life, this garden was his exclusive subject, and he actually began painting it in the 1890s, and he didn't die till 1926. And he's painting an environment that he himself has created. And I think that interconnection, that symbiosis between the artist and the gardener is truly remarkable.
He'd always had the taste of nature, good taste, knowing how to use colours, but I think he had to learn about gardening first of all, but he was very keen, he learned quickly, he was passionate, he had a big library, he was buying magazines and learning from magazines, surrounding himself with gardening friends and good advisors.
There's two gardens here, really. I mean, we're standing in what was called the Clos Normand, sort of enclosed Norman garden, much more traditional garden. When he took over the house, he started renting it in 1883, and then he buys it in 1890. And in some ways, it's still got that formality, as you can see that it's divided into these beds and these long alley pathways in between. But within those beds, the planting is really quite loose and informal. And I think he was influenced partly by current ideas in garden design, many of which were coming from England, from garden designers like William Robinson and Gertrude Jekyll. But then, of course, on the other side of what is now the road, in his day was a small railway line, is the famous water lily garden, and there the influence is much more Asian and Oriental, with the water lilies and the bamboos and the weeping willows. I think it's not always appreciated the extent to which Monet was an incredibly knowledgeable and serious gardener. He really knew about plants and horticulture. So the garden itself, I think toward the end of his life, he actually said that the garden was his greatest work of art.
Now, Claude Monet was a very prolific artist. In his lifetime, he was able to produce approximately 2,500 works of art And it is said that Claude Monet's favorite model became his wife. And when she died, this grieved him, gave much sorrow in Claude Monet's life. But despite that, he still painted. So let's view, I'll show you some of his works. Now, Claude Monet had a particular quotation, and it goes like this: "Everyone discusses my art and pretends to understand, as if it were necessary to understand, when it is simply necessary to love." So, deep down inside, Claude Monet was a romantic at heart. He loved life and he painted life. Thanks, guys, for watching this vlog, and I really appreciate all your comments, and I do reply to all of them. Now, if you want me to discuss anything about art appreciation or art in general, please comment below. Tap, 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 tap. Now, if you like this video, do hit that like button and share this video or vlog to anyone that would want to learn more about art appreciation. I'll see you in our next video. See you guys. Bye.